Okay. Okay, so good morning. My name is Frances Rayner and I'm the Community Development Manager for Alive West Norfolk. So I'm here this morning with Callum Robinson, who I'll introduce you in a moment. But we're here to talk about physical activity and also about the Active 150 Challenge, which is the Alive West Norfolk Community Challenge for January, which we hope is going to get you all motivated to get out there and at the very least complete 150 minutes of physical activity a week, which is the government guidance. So I've invited Callum along today to talk to me about the importance of getting started and how really to get started on your exercise journey. So Callum is an online coach and personal trainer. He's been working in the fitness industry for about 3 years now, and he is a resident in West Norfolk. So it's great to have him on here this morning with me. So welcome, Callum.
Yeah, morning.
Hi. So Callum, we want to get started. I really want to talk to you this morning about how people get started on their fitness journey. You know, Christmas has been and gone. We're now going into January, which it's looking a little bit bleak, I think, with the current situation.
Yeah.
And I think people hopefully now are starting to think about what we're going to do in January. How can we get fit? I think that's quite normal, isn't it, this time of year? Do you say?
Yeah. Normal January rush in the gyms, as we say. But
yeah, I think so. So, you know, the gyms are shut, unfortunately. We're in tier 4. People have got to find another way of kind of maybe motivating themselves and getting themselves fit. But the gym doesn't suit everybody anyway. You know, not everybody wants to visit the gym. And, you know, what I want to, you know, my first question to you this morning is really, how would you suggest people get started on their physical activity journey? If they've not really done a lot of physical activity before or exercise, how would you say they should make that start?
It's probably one of the hardest things, isn't it, getting started? Once you're there and started, it becomes probably a little bit easier. But I think the main thing for me is the sort of stigma or something that the thing it looks like on social media, especially nowadays, is that to start being healthier and fitter and being more active seems like you have to do so much and have to be the gym goer 5 days a week and that kind of thing. And that's not exactly, it's not at all really what every person needs. Most likely, in most cases, most of the population just need to focus on moving the body more. As humans, we weren't meant to sit, but we do a lot of sitting and laying, especially this time of year, every day. So I think the biggest thing for me is always movement. It can be as simple as walking. I know just before we come on here, I said little things like sort of 5 minutes in the morning when you're sitting having your breakfast. You then probably sit and scroll on your phone and look through social media for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Well, could you put a pair of shoes on and go and walk around your garden whilst you're scrolling through social media? By the time you've done that for 10 minutes, you're probably talking 500 odd steps extra that you're not going to get in normally because you're just going to be sitting on the kitchen stool or in your bed scrolling through. So it can be as simple as things like that. I know for me at the minute, I'm doing a little bit of sort of 5-10 minutes every single morning. I just go into my garage, there's a pull-up bar, I do a few press-ups, and every day it's sort of around about 10 to 15, 20 reps of everything, which doesn't really seem like too much. But if you add that over a week and 7 days, you're then talking in excess of 100, 150 push-ups and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden you start to think, Christ, that could actually be quite a lot of progression there. And it doesn't have to be that. It could be as simple as, like I said, a few extra steps a day, could be 10 squats, learn to squat, do a body weight squat, 10 squats every day. All of a sudden over a week, you've done 70 squats. If I asked someone to do 70 squats right now, who's never exercised before, they'd look at me and go, oh my God, I can't believe you asked me to do that. So like I said, it's the small things for me that then make the bigger differences later on. It's not going to the gym 5-6 times a week and having to be that sort of gym stereotype.
Yeah, it's really good points there, Callum. I think the whole thing about walking as well, you know, you said walk around your garden. You know, we've got some great places to walk in West Norfolk, even on our doorstep. You know, people don't need to go very far, do they, to find somewhere nice to walk, get out. I'm sure you'd agree as well, the fresh air is really, really important to get out and breathe in that fresh air for a healthy mind as well as healthy
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, 100%. Especially like in lockdown, like I say, we've been confined to our own houses, our own four walls for however long now. Like I say, to get out there and get that fresh air, especially like people working from home as well. If they're in the same room, in a dark room all day, just looking at a computer screen, the amount of that fresh air and that open space can clear your mind, clear your body, and everything like that is another big thing as well. I know mental health has been a big talking point of lockdown and things like that. Like I say, going out and walking, and I think like I said again about the stigmas and stereotypes behind it. You don't know what will work for you if you've never done it before. People go out and say, well, why don't you go out and walk and listen to an audiobook? I know when I go out and walk, I just like to have nothing. I don't have anything in my ears. I don't have my phone on. I just walk, because that for me helps me clear a little bit better. Some people get bored and, like I say, have music on, and like that's completely their personal preference, their prerogative. But if you don't start, you'll never know what works for you. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is get going, get started, and then sort of work it out from there. We're all winging it. No one has the right thing to do. No one knows what the right thing to do. It's whatever suits you.
Yeah, I agree. How do we then keep motivated then, Callum? Because I think, you know, people often say to me, oh, you know, I'm getting right into this, you know, I'm running or I'm doing couch to 5K or whatever, and they're doing really, really well. And then suddenly it's like they hit that wall, you know, that sort of point where they go, oh, I'm not going to do it today. So then they don't do it the next day, and they don't do it. So how do we keep motivated to, you know, to keep this going?
The biggest thing with motivation is people often start, in my opinion, they often start too quick. So they often bite off a bit more, too much, that more they can chew. So like, especially this time of year, January, people will start thinking New Year's resolutions, that kind of thing. I know gyms aren't open, but they might, let's say they start wanting to exercise. They'll then start to exercise excessively, maybe 5, 6, 7 times a week. And you're starting to think, well, you've gone from doing absolutely nothing to now absolutely everything. And you expect that you can sustain that. There's a reason for a long period of time that you've done absolutely nothing. It's a mental motivation thing or an environmental lifestyle thing. To all of a sudden just change that with a flick of a switch is going to be very, very difficult, and very few % of people can keep that up. Again, goes back to not having to do everything. Small things make big differences. I've said again before we come to the call, I've got clients on my online coaching that do one specified gym session or weight session home workout a week, just one, and they're making fantastic progress because they're doing other little things every single day to make bigger differences. So I think, like I said, starting off like really fast and really hard lead to you hitting that wall and going, oh, I can't keep this up, I can't keep doing that. Another thing is usually people get injured. As well, like the fatigue and general rundown and tiredness. Your body has been used to doing nothing, and it's now doing everything, and it can't maintain that in that short space of time. It can't keep building it up slowly. Is the biggest thing.
Yeah, really, really good points there, Callum. Thank you for that. And I think just to kind of end that little section on, you know, building those healthy habits is really important, isn't it? So again, it's, you know, we all have these New Year's resolutions. I'm going to do this when the new year starts, you know, setting your goals, making sure your goals are, you know, achievable and realistic. But it's about the long term. I mean, I remember back on National Fitness Day talking to people who said, you know, the best improvements to their fitness had been because they'd suddenly realized that they needed to keep going, you know, and not just do it for now, stop, start. It was to kind of build that healthy. What's your thoughts on that?
It's almost like a little bit of a vicious cycle people find themselves in a little bit, isn't it? It's they go really well, they do fantastically, make some great progress, but the relapse then after that is, then you hear so many times, especially as in my industry and as a coach, you hear so many times people come to me and say, I lost a load of weight on this diet, and then I put it all back on, and then I did this one, lost it all, and then put it back on. That's sort of, like I say, vicious cycle. And habits are exactly what stop that vicious cycle from happening. If you can do things every single day that lead your life to be happier and healthier, and lead you to be fitter and stronger, and that kind of thing, you won't have to worry about that vicious cycle. Like I alluded to earlier, my sort of 5 to 10 minutes every day is keeping me sort of slowly running on a good bit of exercise throughout the whole week. I then can, whenever I want, get to the gym or go and do something else at the minute. But like I said, I think it's them habits are the big thing that stop them vicious cycles and make it a lifestyle change instead of just a mindset flick of, I need to do something about where my health and fitness is right now. So yeah, them habits are definitely the most important thing. Definitely the thing I always tell people about is forming habits instead of making big changes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Right, okay, so Callum, just do you want to give us a little bit of a plug about your job? What do you do? So if people want to find you after they've seen you talk to me today, how could they find you, and what could you do for them?
Yeah, so the biggest thing, I'm on all the social medias, so main two, Instagram and Facebook. So if you go on Instagram, Callum Robinson PT _online, just put in Callum Robinson, you'll find my personal one. That'll also come up with my business one. Callum Robinson PT on Facebook, give it a search. Hit the likes and follows, give it all that. Like I say, follow me. I'll show and share all what my clients do and everything like that, what I do. So really, I'm sort of an online coach for everyone, really. I'm a big believer that there's no sort of elitist in this industry or anything like that. Someone that's starting right from the bottom, not even ever wanted to go to a gym and maybe still doesn't. I've got probably 50% of my clients at the moment haven't stepped foot in a gym since March, since the first lockdown. They've realised that they can do it from home. They don't need a gym facility. They've brought a little bit of equipment. Some have brought no equipment, and they're still making fantastic progress. Like I say, I've ranged my clients from 17 to, well, they've been up to around about the 70, 80-year-old mark. Like with some of the fitness camps that I've ran in down the market and places like that. So I've worked with all age groups, female, males. And like I say, if you jump onto my Instagram especially, you'll see sort of some of the transformations that I've done with people, some of the great reviews that some of my clients have given me, which is really good. But yeah, it's all an online based business. It's got my own app. Everything's on that app. You get access to all that. Like I said, there's a website you can jump on as well, www.callumrobinsonpt.com. Jump on there, have a look. It's got all the details of what I do, who I work with, and how you can get involved.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, so to end, 3 top tips then from you, Callum. So stay on the theme of getting started, getting into it. And what are your 3 top tips that you can give people to take away with them?
Yes, I'd say the first one is that simple word, movement. We were born to stand and to move as humans, but we sit too much. If, like I said, if it's fat loss that you're looking to do, which is sort of usually the main one that we deal with in the industry, then movement is going to be the key. Moving more, eating less, obviously, but movement is the big thing. We sit too much, especially at the minute with lockdown, etc. Get outside, get some fresh air in, move your body, and it doesn't have to be hour-long, really hard workouts, which are going to tear your body to pieces. It can be as simple as that 10-15 minutes every morning of just walking around your garden whilst you're doing your social media scrolling.
I like
just get that movement in. Tip 2 is probably don't bite off more than you can chew, is that starting slowly. Like I said, especially this time of year, it's that normal thing that when I was in the gyms every day, you would see people start in January and they go for 5 to 7 days a week, and by February they're back down to 1, or you barely see them. And next time I saw them, I'm asking them where they've been on holiday because I haven't seen them for like 3 or 4 weeks, and it's like that kind of thing. So don't bite off more than you can chew. It's that steady progress, and you'll find that you're much more motivated that way. Even as a PT, if the gyms are open, I'm only training 2 or 3 times a week. So don't fit it into your lifestyle. And probably tip 3, we're looking at habits, like we've talked about today. The thing of that, again, 10-15 minutes is, I keep alluding back to that, it makes a massive difference. If you can build a habit, it could be anything. It could be for your mind. Like I say, my business is built around sort of people's mindset as well as their sort of physical nature as well, and also their nutrition. So it could be making a healthier meal for 10 minutes in the morning. It could be reading a book. It could be getting some fresh air. It could be contacting someone that you haven't contacted for ages. That 10 minutes every morning, that could be working out. Learn to squat, learn to do something new. Think of it, probably tip 3 then is think of it more of as a mindset thing than you need to lose weight or you need to get fitter or you need to get stronger. Think of it more as a mental lifestyle change than an initial rush of I need to do this. So yeah, that's probably my 3 tips there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, Callum, thank you very much for giving up your time this morning to chat to me, and you know, the community of West Norfolk. I'm sure they'll be you know, have quite a lot to take away from this conversation. So thank you so much.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.